your chance to tell me what happened.
She tried to seduce me and I wasn't going to have it.
But what happened to Valerie? That's where you're stopping. What'd you do to her?
What'd I do to her?
What'd you do to her? Tell us what you did to her.
Strangled her.
With what?
A belt.
Okay. And then what'd you do with it?
I moved her into the office.
Okay. How long was she in there?
On a warm June morning in 2023, 17-year-old Valerie Tyndall left her home in Arlington, Indiana, expecting nothing more than a routine day. She'd lined up some work helping neighbors with odd jobs, as she often did, to earn a bit of money and lend a hand around the community. But Valerie never showed up. And that night, as her family realized she hadn't come home, worry turned to dread. The Tyndall family had recently moved to Arlington, Indiana from Indianapolis, hoping to leave behind the challenges of city life in favor of a quieter, safer environment. They had wanted a fresh start, a place where they could find peace and stability. But instead of finding safety, they faced an unimaginable tragedy that shattered their lives. Default text: before we proceed, I offer my deepest sympathies to the victim's family. Don't forget to hit subscribe to follow the upcoming cases on the channel. Valerie was well known for being responsible and reliable, so her sudden disappearance seemed completely out of character. There was no sign that she had any plans to leave. She hadn't mentioned going anywhere unusual to her family or friends, and there were no phone calls hinting at any sort of getaway or escape. Valerie was the type who would let people know where she was going, and she was close to her family. No one would have expected her to just vanish without a word. As her family started reaching out to friends and neighbors, hoping someone might know where she was, they kept hitting dead ends. Hours turned to days, and the search efforts ramped up. The community rallied together, volunteers went door to door, and search parties combed through fields and nearby woods. But there were still no leads, no clues pointing to where she might have gone. A few days after Valerie Tyndall went missing, her Honda Accord was found backed into a parking space at an apartment complex, with its license plate removed. This led police to speculate that Valerie might have been hiding out with some friends who lived there. Police also discovered there had been some disagreements between Valerie and her parents, according to friends and neighbors they interviewed. This raised a potential connection that the police needed to investigate further. Then, investigators began looking into the people around her, focusing on the last person known to have seen her, Patrick Scott, a 59-year-old neighbor for whom Valerie occasionally worked. At first, Scott tried to downplay his connection to her disappearance. But as the police dug deeper, they noticed inconsistencies in his story. He said she had left abruptly that day, but his story didn't line up with the evidence they were gathering.
All right, Patrick, so you're here today because of Valerie Tyndall, who's been missing or run away since June 7th, which was a Wednesday of this, right?
Right.
Now, you know Valerie because a couple different ways here. One, she's your neighbor, right?
Right.
She lives there kind of like in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay. And she also works for you, right? In the
Right.
summer, help mow grass and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Part-time, okay. And when she does that grass, when she does mow grass for you and works with you, is she usually with you? Do you drive her from job to job?
Yes.
So you guys are always together?
Yes.
Okay. So there's never a time where you have her meet you at a job?
Just once.
Just once?
Just once.
How long ago was that? Before June? Before she ran away?
Yeah.
Before she left? Okay.
Yeah. Right after, shortly after school let out.
All right. Okay. So I spoke to you at your house on about, I think it was Saturday, June 10th. I saw you outside. Do you remember me stopping by?
Yes.
Okay. And I asked you that day when you saw Valerie last, right?
Right.
And you remember what you told me?
Tuesday.
You told me Tuesday before Wednesday, the Wednesday before she's gone, right?
Right.
And that's not true, is it?
No.
Okay. When was the last time you saw Valerie?
Wednesday afternoon.
Wednesday afternoon. Where did you meet up with her at?
South High Gardens.
South High Gardens in Shelbyville.
Yes.
Okay. And what were you driving at that point?
I had my truck and the car both.
You had the truck and the car, both at
South High.
South High.
Right.
So the what did you drive there that day?
The truck.
With your trailer too?
Yes.
Okay. How did the car get there?
I moved it there like the day before, 2 days before,
Why did you do that?
because she was going to take off.
So you gonna give her a car to use?
No, I was just going to give her a ride.
Okay, so she called you on Tuesday?
No, she told me a couple days before she was going to leave.
Okay. So she
I didn't think she'd go through with it, but she did.
Okay. So she planned this with you.
Well, she planned it. I just
You went along. You just went along.
Yeah.
Scott confessed to having lied during his initial brief encounter with the police on June 10th. In this latest meeting, he revised his statement, claiming he had seen Valerie on Tuesday rather than Wednesday, as he had previously testified.
So you were already there. Were you there mowing when she showed up on Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay. So you're at South High Gardens mowing grass.
Yes.
She shows up in her car, her green Honda Accord.
Right.
Okay. Then I take it you stopped mowing.
Well, I was already done.
You're done. Okay. And you met up with her, right?
Right.
And what? She got in Ford Taurus with you,
Right.
and you guys left South High Gardens.
Right.
And left her car there,
Yes.
along with your truck and trailer.
Yes.
Okay. From there, you came back to Rush County. Is that right?
Right.
Okay. And on your way to Rush County, was she on her phone, using her phone?
She texts a lot. She don't talk on it much.
Right. But she was using her phone.
Yeah, she
She's communicating.
texts all the time.
She's doing something.
Yes.
Okay. And did you know where you was taking her before that day?
Well, I thought we was going back to Rushville, but we stopped in Homer's where we went to.
Okay, so she had you stop in Homer.
Yes.
Okay. And what happened in Homer?
She got out of the car and got in with another guy.
Okay. What kind of car did she get in?
They just kind of a pale blue car is all I know.
Pale blue.
Right. Model, I can't tell you. I don't know.
So if you say pale blue, that mean it was dark
Um,
or bright, light?
no, not dark. It would be, I guess kind of in here, like maybe a little darker than this right here.
Okay. All right.
That's
So when you dropped her off at Homer, where was that at again?
right where the old garage used to be on 44.
The old garage used to be on 44. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? That
Yeah.
pole barn, just right into that drive. We come off, pulled right up there.
Okay. So on the east side. That's on the east side, right?
Yes.
So she got out there. Did she take her phone?
Yes.
Okay. And she got in this pale blue car with this guy.
Yes.
What does this guy look like?
I have no idea. I didn't see him.
Okay. Could you tell that, was he by himself?
Yes, from what it looked like.
And then from there, when you dropped her off, where did you go?
I went back to the house.
Went back to the house. Your house.
My house.
In Arlington.
Yes.
Okay. That's the last time you seen her?
When I dropped her off, yes.
That's the last time you talked to her?
That was the last time I talked to her.
Okay.
Yes.
After the officer informed Scott that Valerie's car had been found, Scott claimed that he had moved the car to a safe location and insisted that he had not removed the license plates. He further claimed that Valerie had entered a car with another man, subtly suggesting that he was not the last person to see her.
Now, I'm just going to kind of be honest with you here for a minute, Patrick, okay? So, her phone location, which way did you say the blue car went on that day when you dropped her off?
Which way what?
The blue car, the day you dropped her off on Wednesday, which way did you go?
It turned like it was going out 44 toward Rushville.
Okay. Did you actually see it turn left or right on 44?
No, because that's the way it kind of was angled. And I turned and I just went right on up the pike.
Okay. Did you ever notice it following you, being behind you for any reason?
No.
Okay. So, we know, just from you telling me right now and confirming with other things that we know, I know where her phone was at during that time before it was shut off.
Right.
And it was shut off closer to Arlington, not Homer. Okay.
Right.
All right. And she actually sent a message just before she shut it off, and that put her closer to Arlington. Okay.
She sent a message?
Yeah. So it's very important right now that you tell me the truth, that she wasn't with you at that point.
No, she wasn't with me.
Okay. Because here's the deal. I mean, if you're helping her,
No.
if you have been helping her, this is the time to stop and now tell us where she's
No,
at.
I have not helped her. But if she would have showed up at a job site asking for money, I would have given it to her.
Did you do that?
I would have. I haven't.
Okay.
Because I know she's got to be out of money. She got in the truck one morning a couple weeks ago, and she was pissed. I knew she was when she got in the truck because of the way that she was texting. I mean, she was violently texting. She then said, I asked her, I said, are you mad? And she was pissed because the boy dumped her. She talked him into taking her back, just so she could dump him a week later. Then he showed up at their house, I want to say Monday before she disappeared, and got his stuff.
So she discussed this with you about her wanting to leave?
Yeah, she's been discussing it for a long time.
And did she discuss it prior to Wednesday, within a couple of days before Wednesday, about this idea of what she was wanting to do?
I'll tell you the truth, I thought she was leaving Saturday night, because she said she was leaving Saturday.
Yeah, okay.
Investigators swiftly tracked Valerie's phone through the service provider. Patrick claimed that the phone's last known location was far from Arlington. However, the evidence painted a different picture. The final signal before the phone was powered off placed it near Arlington.
So do you understand, like here's a scenario that rolls out in my head, okay? Here's what I'm thinking. I think you and her talked a lot. I don't think she got along with her parents very well, and I think you know that too, right? And I think that I think she wants to leave, okay? I think she wants to leave her mom and dad's, and I think you know that as well. And that's what she's always implied, right? She was leaving. She always says she was leaving, right?
Right.
The scenario that plays out in my head is that you were willing to try to help her somehow. Which obviously you did. I mean, semi-helped her a little bit, just from what you told me. Now I think it's further than that. I think you helped her more than what you're telling me. That's just how
I didn't. I haven't.
Just how it looks. It's how it looks. It's how it feels. Everything kind of shows that. It just seems weird to me. That you didn't want this young girl to be found right away. If you did, you would have told us right away when we talked to her, or when we talked to you, or you would have said something on Wednesday. I think you knew on Wednesday that she was missing, right? You knew Wednesday something was wrong, right?
Yeah.
Because I noticed that in your text messages that, I noticed that on Wednesday, June 7th, she told you she's going to be there soon. You remember that?
No, but...
It said, I'll be there soon. Okay? And at 5:40 p.m., you asked her where she was. You said, hey, where are you? Okay? Why did you ask that?
I wanted to find out where she was at.
Had you talked to her parents already before this message?
No.
When did you talk to her parents? Exactly. I know you did at some point.
6:30? 7 o'clock?
On Wednesday?
Yeah.
So on Wednesday, her parents talked to you?
Yeah, her mom.
Her mom did?
Yeah.
And told you that she wasn't home? What did she tell you?
Wanted to know if she was still working.
And what did you tell her?
She said, no, she didn't work today.
Okay. But you didn't want to tell her that you saw her though, right?
No.
Why not?
She said she wanted to go.
She said she wanted to go, so you're helping. You're trying to help her. Don't want to dime her out, right?
Right.
Okay. What makes me believe, what can you do to make me believe that you're still not trying to not dime her out right now?
I'm not trying to get her in trouble. I don't want to get her in trouble. I mean, I could have got her in a lot of trouble with her dad, but I didn't want to.
Okay.
I mean, he's pretty mean with her.
Okay. So you see the scenario in my head is that you're this nice guy. You're kind of like a father figure to her, probably. She probably looks up to you a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Maybe she does. You're trying to help her. Okay? So the best way you can help her right now is if you know exactly where she's at, is to tell me where she's at.
I do not know. I swear to God.
Any idea at all?
Nope. Nope. I thought she went to Illinois. I really did. I thought she took off with that boy to Illinois.
And the last time you saw her or talked to her was that day, June 7th, when you dropped her off at Homer.
Wednesday, yeah.
So if we go back and look around and we find that this, what if we go back, what if we have a camera right there we can look at and we don't see that being true? How would you answer to that?
How is it what?
I said, what if we go back and find a camera right there in the area? What if someone had a ring camera or something like that, or had surveillance footage? and we go back and we look at it, and that's not true. There's no blue car there that you dropped her off at. Because I'm sure
That's where I dropped her off.
I'm sure there's plenty of surveillance there. I'm sure we could probably look at.
What is it?
There's probably plenty of surveillance in that neighborhood we can probably look at. Okay, and I'm sure that that's probably what's going to happen. Okay, and so if we do see that, if we do find that surveillance and we see it, and this doesn't come back to being what it is that you're telling me, okay, now you prolong this longer.
Right.
Is this going to help you or is it going to hurt you?
It's not going to hurt me.
Well, it would if you're not telling me the truth.
Right.
So that's what I'm asking you. Before we do all that, you're telling me the truth. You dropped her off
Yes.
in Homer
Yes.
on June 7th.
Yes. Haven't seen or heard from her since. And I swear to God, I thought by now she would have showed up somewhere asking for money.
Patrick's version of events was unraveling in a way he hadn't anticipated, as every piece of evidence the police collected worked against him. The investigators, fully aware of the inconsistencies, decided to increase the pressure. Given his repeated attempts to mislead them, they secured a search warrant to further their investigation.
I have some search warrants to execute today for you, okay?
Okay.
So, run through them real quick. What search warrants we got? I've got 3 search warrants to execute, okay?
Okay.
So one search warrant is going to be for 2 swabs of the inside of your mouth, okay? And I'll read it to you. But I'll just explain them to you and then I'll read them all to you individually, okay? So the first one that we'll do is for the swabs of your mouth. The second search warrant is for the address
Okay.
for the property, okay? And the third search warrant is for okay? That's what the 3 search warrants are for. I will read them to you and then I'll sign them when we execute them, okay?
Despite thorough searches around Patrick's home, investigators came up empty-handed, pushing the investigation into the victim's whereabouts to a standstill. However, Patrick's earlier statement seemed to reveal a shadow of suspicion, hinting that he might be concealing critical details. The police remained steadfast in their efforts. There was still one final lead, a plot of land with a deep pit, situated not far from Patrick's residence. On October 11, 2023, a team of cadaver and rescue dogs was brought in to search the area around the pond in the hope of uncovering any trace of the missing young girl. By the end of the day, it seemed the dogs had caught a faint scent of decomposition. The source was unclear, but it likely came from the pond. Divers were dispatched, and sonar scans were conducted, yet nothing was found. The police believed the odor might have come from somewhere near the pond. They reviewed aerial scans of the searched area and discovered a patch of land that appeared to have been recently disturbed, situated next to Patrick's second storage shed. The truth began to unravel as Patrick returned to the police station for the second time.
I think deep down you love Valerie, and I know you love your family, okay? So I decided that when I come in that door just now, that I'm going to give you an opportunity to explain the why, okay? Because we have her in the box, okay? Wrapped up multiple times, taped up in the box of the OSB and the 2x4s that you bought, next to the box that we talked to you earlier about that had the videos in it. Okay? Had the videos in it. We got her in the box next. So you know we have found her. And I didn't want to bluff you on that. I wanted you to know that. And as you're sitting there tearing up wanting to cry, all right? So, I'm going to read you your rights. This is the opportunity for you to explain the why. At your residence, we have you, Linda, and Elizabeth are the 3 adults that live on that property. Okay? Own the properties. Let me rephrase that. Because it's at that storage shed. It's not the house. So you, Elizabeth, and Linda live there. You are the 3 that have access to that property. Okay? You are the 3 that have the potential to bury Valerie Tyndall. Patrick, today's the day. Family deserves this closure, and you deserve this closure. Do you hear me? You deserve this closure because this has ate at you. We could tell that every time we talked. All right. So I'm going to advise you of your rights, and I'm going to ask you one question. Okay? Explain to me what happened to Valerie, and explain the why. Because we deserve it, and everybody else deserves it as well.
Okay, and I got a question for you before we go any further. Why did they pick up Linda?
We're going to talk to her too. She lives on the property. We're going to talk to Linda as well. Because here's the deal, Patrick. How do we know what happened to it? You both live on the property. So we have to talk to everybody on the property. Does that make sense? But I'm giving you the opportunity to explain to me.
They don't know nothing.
Okay. Well, this is your opportunity to explain it to me. And this is, does that make sense in an investigation? 3 people on the property, right?
Well, they don't ever go down there.
Okay. But that's 3 people on the property. It's registered to your daughter.
Yeah, I know. I bought it and gave it to her.
Okay. So that's why I want to give you the why today, Patrick. Here's the deal. We've got it. Okay? Now I want you to think that right now is the moment of the compassion. And you're going to have to find it, but it's there. And you should care about it. Okay?
The detective informed Patrick of his rights and gave him the opportunity to explain what had happened.
You want to talk to me?
Well, I do. I mean,
What happened to Valerie?
Valerie got carried away.
Doing what?
Huh?
Doing what?
Doing what?
Mm-hmm. Just lay it out to me. Lay it out to me. What happened to her?
She tried to blackmail me into buying her a car.
Okay. And what happened?
She thought she was going to seduce me and it wasn't going to happen. Things just got carried away.
Well, explain that to me. What's that mean? Does Linda know about it?
Nope.
Okay.
Nobody knows.
It's your chance to tell me what happened.
She tried to seduce me and I wasn't going to have it.
But what happened to Valerie? That's where you're stopping.
What, I mean,
What'd you do to her?
What'd I do to her?
What'd you do to her? Tell us what you did to her.
Strangled her.
With what?
A belt.
Okay. And then what'd you do with it?
I moved her into the office
Okay. How long was she in there?
till the next day.
What did, where's the bell at?
His car.
Okay. You left her in the office till the next day. Then what happened?
Then when I got home the next day, I just made that box.
Okay. What about the hole?
The hole was already dug. But it wasn't for that, it was because I was throwing concrete in it.
What about the other box?
Just put shit in it.
Well, did you build 2 that day?
No, we just built one.
So you strangled her. What room were you in when you strangled her?
Right there by my bedroom.
Like in that little entryway? Had you and Valerie been in a sexual relationship?
Never.
Okay. So you said she tried to seduce you for the car. Well, explain to me what happened.
She was wanting to come on to me.
Did she say she was going to get you in trouble, or?
Yeah, she was going to tell everybody that I was making moves on her.
Okay.
I wasn't going to have it.
Okay.
It just, things got out of hand.
Where'd the belt come from?
It was mine, I had it on.
You had it on? Okay. So explain to me what happened there in that room. Like, how'd you get the belt on her?
I was fighting her off and I took it and threw it around her.
Why were you guys fighting?
Because she was trying to get, she was trying to take her clothes off.
Okay.
And wasn't going to do it.
Okay. And then you guys got in a fight?
Yeah, kind of a pushing and shoving thing right there.
Okay. And then you took your belt off, and then what happened?
I put it around her neck and I held on to it till she quit.
How long did you hold that? Give me a ballpark how long you held the belt.
On her?
Yeah.
Till she quit moving.
Okay. Did you know she was dead then?
I pretty much figured so.
Okay. So you wrapped her in like black, it looks like a trash bag to me, or it's black plastic.
Yeah, whatever I had around there.
What is that? Is that like landscaping stuff, or?
Probably what I used it for.
Okay. And then you taped her. You wrapped her and taped her multiple times. Do
Okay.
you remember doing that?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Why?
Yeah, what was the reasoning? Like, what was going through your head when you did it? I know why. I'm just asking you.
Just get rid of her.
Okay. Was it the smell?
Not yet.
I mean, was it to prevent the smell? Is that what it was?
I don't know. I just wrapped her up in plastic.
Okay. And then you put her in that box that you built.
Yeah.
Right. And then how did you get her from, did you carry her over to that box? Or did you build the box, bring it over, put her in it, and then pull the box over? How'd you get the box? How'd you get her from the office to the box?
I drug her.
Okay. Like through your neighbor's yard?
Oh no. The box, I took it in the house.
Okay. So you took it in the house and you put her in the box in the house.
Yeah.
And then you screwed it shut?
Huh?
You screwed it shut in the house?
Yeah.
Okay, then how did you get the box from there to your other property?
Two-wheeler.
Okay, dolly.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. And then did you stick it up?
Yeah.
And dolly it across? Okay. And then you did that after the box? Like,
No.
you did that like right after?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said the hole was already there. It was a pretty deep hole.
Yeah.
You didn't have to dig any of it?
I already dug a bunch of it.
Okay.
See, I dug all that because I had been looking for the well on the back of the house.
Okay.
Reports from officers on the scene and the FBI said that when they began excavating with hand shovels, it took some time to get down to a rectangular box made from 2x4s and composite boards often used in sheeting for construction. The box was opened. It contained papers and a large number of VHS tapes, but no body. After removing the box, members of the evidence recovery team continued to dig down, hitting a layer of trash and then a layer of unopened Quikrete concrete bags. Once those items were removed, yet another large rectangular wooden box was found. Once it was exposed to air, a stench of decay rose from the box. The box was removed and a canopy erected over it. Within would be found the black plastic-wrapped body of a female.
What was Valerie saying when this was happening? What she was saying to you?
That's what I can remember.
Okay. Was she struggling when you were when you were strangling her?
Yeah.
Okay. What were you saying to her?
I didn't say nothing. I just knew she wasn't going to blackmail me.
Yeah. So because of the blackmail, was that your intention to kill her? To avoid the blackmail?
She was going to tell everybody that I had my way with her, and that never happened.
Okay. So then, was that your plan? Like, if you were going to be blackmailed, right?
Right.
So was that the plan to kill her?
No, that just kind of happened.
Okay. Patrick, is there anything I haven't asked you think is important?
No.
I need you to paint the picture for me, so I'm not there, so I need you to paint the picture for me. But I think this had to feel good getting this off your chest, right?
I guess.
You seem like a good guy. Like, I don't understand. Like, that's gotta bother you, right? That you killed Valerie?
Well, I wasn't too crazy about it.
Okay.
Patrick Scott, 59 years old, operator of a lawn care business,